When elders call us about downsizing, they can start around the age of 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80. Typically, the idea of downsizing occurs when you begin to start thinking about, do I really need all this space? And the first instinct people have is they become completely overwhelmed and they freeze. They start looking around their house and they go, you know what, I can't do this. I can't possibly get rid of anything. They start looking at different things and they go, I have a memory with that, or the value of this is too great. I can't get rid of anything, and they freeze in place. But you know what? There's a much easier way to approach this. And it really begins with one very basic question. If you think back about when you were first out of school or when you first got married, how much space did you really need? And the question becomes not how much did you really need, but how much was the right amount of space. So when you were first a single individual and you moved out of your parents' home, how much space was the right amount of space? When you first had your children, how much was the right amount of space? When your kids grew up and they went to college, how much was the right amount of space? And then, as you became a grandparent, how much was the right amount of space? Now, if you think about it, and you think about where you live today, for most of us, if we think about our homes, and if I think about the home that I live in, we still have 5 bedrooms, but there's only 2 of us living there. And I always joke that we have one of the nicest bed and breakfasts around. We just keep adding nice bedroom sets to the rooms that our kids used to live in. But in reality, the right amount of space for us is probably 1 master bedroom, 1 guest bedroom, a dining room, a living room, an office for myself, an office for my wife, and then a few additional rooms. The idea of right-sizing is just this. When you take the space that you live in, and then you convert that space to an appropriate amount of space that you need for that moment in time. When people contact T3 Transitions and they ask us about either downsizing, transitioning, or liquidating, typically the next sentence in their phrase is, you know what, we're completely overwhelmed. And when we go out and speak with them during our first consultation, they'll start doing things like saying, well, look at this. I've got a music book that I could never part with, or I have things like this, these dishes. These belong to my great-grandmother. I could never part with them. And I need the space in our home to display them or put them away. Well, the reality is just this. How much space is the right amount of space for what you need? When you think about your possessions, the household inventory, what's the right amount of inventory that you need? Consistently ask yourself this. When you look at something, is it the memory that's important, or is it the financial value that's important? Next, is it something that you need to look at or have out on a daily basis? And then thirdly, and this is the most important question of all, in reality, how much space is the right amount of space and the right setting for what you need to live and to thrive? Very often we say that people need to downsize so that they can age in place. What we like to say when we're working with our clients is that what's the right amount of space for people to thrive in place? Because when they're doing that, we're able to lift the weight of aging off their shoulders.